good to have you on this lovely Tuesday. I'm really excited you're joining me. I love doing these for you. Every Tuesday we talk about leads, we talk about getting listings, helping clients, being a productive real estate agent. My name is Borino. I'm your real estate coach. I've been at this for over 20 years. If this is your first time here, very warm welcome to our group. We are the rock stars, one of the largest and definitely the coolest group here on the internet. Would you guys agree with that? We're having fun. We're here to share, to inspire each other. I'm here to teach you. I do this show almost every Tuesday at noon where I take your questions, I'll answer, I'll give you some tips, some advice so that you can go out there and help more people, make more money, and be a cool, successful real estate agent. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Any questions you have, post them in the comments. I will review them and answer as many as I possibly can. And today, I will even do... Thank you, thank you. A little sound effects. So we're just going to have fun. I want to talk to you about the next, what are we, about 60 days we have left this year, right? Something like that, 50 some days. So many agents go into a hibernation mode. They start buying into this whole nothing is moving, things are not selling. I will just kind of coast towards the end of the year and hope things will pick up after the holidays. Because you do hear some of the prospects, some of the people tell you, well, we won't do anything until after the holidays. Which is true, some will wait. But that doesn't mean you should be sitting on your butt. According to the National Association of Realtors, every minute there are 9 transactions closed. 9 homes sold, how many of those are yours? And that's going to happen in November, that's going to happen in January, that's going to happen in December, that's happening all the time. It is a mental game. Okay, so I will give you 4 specific tips that I want you to implement between today and the end of the year that will not only make the end of the year really profitable for you, really good, but it will set up 2019 to be an amazing year. Está bien? I see your questions. I promise I will address them, but let me just show you this first because this is important. This is Chicago Tribune. I think this was yesterday. Big article in the Chicago Tribune. FSBO home sales hit all-time low. Here's what it means to buyers and sellers. There are signs that something is shifting. The market is shifting. Whether this is just a seasonal or it's a long-term, don't know. Nobody really has the answers because there are many factors that influence this. But articles like this one indicate, 1, the shift is already happening, and you've seen it. Is it the end of the world? Of course not. It's not. It simply means there is a shift. That the same old we've been kind of used to over the last 3, 4, 5 years is changing. There's a significant shift. And if Chicago Tribune and many other publications, there was a big article on MSNBC, how prices being slashed in California. There's a whole bunch of indications. Wall Street Journal had a big article as well. The market is shifting. It's slowing down. The huge acceleration of pricing, the increase of pricing, all that is coming to an end. It can come back. It can be back in 2, 3 months, or it can be back in 2, 3 years. Who knows? Nobody really knows. And people who pretend to know are bullshitting. Nobody has a crystal ball because many things can influence it. But here is where the opportunity lies. And this is why I wanted to talk to you today. If the FSBO market is slowing down, as Chicago Tribune reporting, and you've probably seen it as well, ask yourself this: what can I do to benefit? What can I do to profit from it? What can I do? Who can I help? What can I do to be of service, to contribute while getting rewarded for my information and my assistance? And if the FSBO market is slowing down, as it is, that simply means big opportunity for you. Even if you've never worked FSBOs, even if you think they're full of shit and they're difficult, they're arrogant, they're aggressive, they don't want to work with agents, they don't want to pay commissions. Statistics and facts are different. I did that big webinar for you not long ago where I showed you a whole bunch of data that supports the idea that most FSBOs are not able to sell on their own and will end up listing with an agent. And especially if things do turn around like they are now, you can jump on it, help folks, connect with them, build trust, build connection, establish yourself as the authority, and then get a listing. It's as simple as that. And cheers to that, my friends. But that means, ooh, that's good. I'll tell you what it is in just a moment. But that means you have to make some adjustments in your business model. First, let go of this notion, I've done it in the past, didn't work, I'm not going to do it again. This requires a new approach. Now, whether you're going to get my system, the FSBORINO, or you want to do this on your own, either way is fine. My proposition, though, is if you can cut some corners and do it faster, do it with a system that's already been built. I'm not here to sell you on it, I'm just telling you it's available. If you want to take it quick and you don't want to miss the opportunity, get the FSBORINO. Go to FSBORINO.com, order it. It's good. You're going to get a book in the mail, videos, the whole system. Many of you had it. Whatever happened in the past, and this is important, let me write it on the board, because many of you get stuck on the past. I tried FSBOs, I talked to these 2 FSBOs and I didn't list them, they listed with somebody else, something else happened. Fine, I appreciate you putting out the effort. Or if you've never done it, you feel, I would never touch a FSBO with a 9-foot pole. I'm inviting you here today to change that, to shift that. Here is why. Past and that's enough. So bear with me. Your past does not equal your future. What happened or what worked in the past may not work in the future. So if it didn't work for you in the past, if you tried in the past and it didn't work, just let that go. Do it again. Try again. Basic, simple approach. There are folks out there who were very optimistic at first. I'm going to sell it on my own. Watch me, darling. How clever and smart I am. I'm going to save us $10,000 in commission. Because I read this article and I know how to do it. You put a sign in the front yard, you put it on that website called Zillow, and then buyers will flock to our house. And then we're going to sell it to them and we're not going to pay some scumbag real estate agent no commissions. Watch me. It was a good intention. But it didn't work. Statistics clearly showed they're not selling. They're not moving. This is where you come in. But here's the difference, and this is why I'm saying whatever worked or didn't work in the past, let that go. Your approach has to be very different. Because what do majority of agents do? They do one of 2 things. They either bash them over the head, you got to list with an agent, look at the statistics, you're better off listing, you're going to make more money, blah, 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 all that noise. Does the seller hear it? Of course not. So that's approach number 1. Ineffective, please don't do it. Don't recite some scripts, don't show some silly graphs. They're not going to hear it, you're just going to get a lot of resistance. Approach number 2 is the fake helpery, where they're faking, pretending to be helpful, but they have a huge agenda. I'm just going to get a listing. I'm just going to pretend that I'm helpful here. I'm going to just throw this little bit of information or this cool little flyer or this little thing. But I do want that listing bad. Can you tell when somebody is not being honest with you or not being authentic? You can tell. We have these sensors. We have radars. And these people are very much attuned to it. Why? Because they're getting hit by a lot of agents. So the approach that I want you to take with these folks is just be cool and helpful. Encourage them to sell on their own if they can. You may know they won't. I may know they will not. But that's not going to change their mind right away. They need to go through the experience. So here's the combination. Be cool, be authentic, be helpful, and be patient. That's it. Because within 30 to 60 days, they will realize that it's not happening. They will be aware that they're in trouble. And then who do you think they will turn to? An agent who has scripts, an agent who is pushy, or an agent who is needy, or somebody who's an authority, who comes in strictly as a consultant to help, to advise, and to guide them, who has the resources, has the answers, but who's also competent. And that's big. There are 2 components for this to work, not just with FSBOs. This is across the board. Every single client. Write this down, remember it, watch for it. 1, competent. That means you know your stuff. You know what you're talking about. You know the business. You know how to get a listing sold. You're competent. In combination with confident. You must have these 2 in place. If you're competent but not confident, you're going to come across as low status needy agent. That's a death call. It's over. If you're confident but you're not competent, you're going to come across as cocky and salesy. We have to cover the fact that you don't know the business well enough, you don't trust yourself enough. So you must have both in place. And then the third part is you're authentic. You're authentic, you're yourself. You don't have some kind of shitty sales persona, you don't pretend to be something else. You're genuine, you're honest with them, you tell the truth. You put these 3 in place, my friends, and you go out, talk to these people with using a system, whether it's your or mine, doesn't matter, you're going to be unstoppable. And this works with every single lead. Because this is what's really a definition of a rock star agent. There are a few other components, but these 3 are core. So if I was an agent sitting there going, shit, I need more listings. I'm not making enough money. The end of the year doesn't look all that stellar. Guess where I would start? With somebody who's already out there, who's already doing things and who's not doing very well. So that's my first offer to you or first suggestion to you. Get over the drunken monkey that's telling you in your head it's not going to work. Get over that whole nonsense and noise in your head that it won't be worth it. These people need help. They need a competent, good agent. They're asking for help. They just don't know it yet. So go out there and work them. And if you want my help, I'll be more than happy to help you. Come on board. That's one. Two, getting closer to December, and we're getting very close, there'll be a big spike. And this happens every single year. Let me show you what I mean. Wipe this out. Is this helpful so far? Are you guys enjoying it? Yeah? Yeah? Good stuff? All right. Good. Santina says, yes, you're the best as Victor. Well, thank you. Hey, Greg, what's happening? So this is what's going to happen. This happens every year. Never fails. This is what's happening. This is your market. This is the number of expired listings. And right now it's somewhere here. You may be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expireds every day, right? So here we are in November. Around December, end of December, it's going to spike like this in most markets. That means you're going to go from 5 to all of a sudden, some agents report to me, we had 500 expireds on December 31st. Because some agents put properties in the MLS with an expiration date as the end of the year. They extend it. Happens every single time. So there'll be a window, a few-day window right here, where you're going to have a boatload of people who put their hopes and dreams into the hands of an agent, and it didn't happen for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it didn't work out. So what's going to happen with this bunch? Some will go back to their previous agent and just relist. And that's fine. Nothing you can do about that. So that's group number one. Group number two will never go back on the market. They tried once, they tested the market, they never sold. But here is a big group number three. They will actively interview, shop, and end up listing with a new agent. This is where the opportunity is. Big one. But here's what you need to do. You have about 4 to 6 weeks to prepare. Not a whole lot of time. Put a system in place. You cannot shoot from the hip. With this opportunity so big, if you have 1 or 2 expires, yeah, you can kind of improvise and you can wing it. But with such a flood of leads, that's not going to be possible. You're going to miss a lot of opportunities. If you do this right, out of hundreds of expires that potentially will be in your MLS between mid-December to mid-January, you can literally end up with hundreds of leads, potential leads, and turn those into listings. But here's what you're going to need in place. First, of course, is the right mindset. Some of you are going, fuck you, Borino, with your mindset. Jesus. It's the core. It's the foundation. Without the right belief, without the right attitude, and without the passion, it's not going to happen. So you need to start with that. Second, put together a simple system. Step-by-step system. What is step 1, step 2? Am I going to call them? Am I going to text them, visit, and all that? Have a process in place. That's what the Expired Plus is about. That's what it's just a sequence of steps. So you're going to need a system. You're going to need a CRM. Get LionDesk. That's a good CRM. If you don't have a CRM, you're going to need one because you're going to feed these leads. Some you will hit, some you will not. Some you will talk to, some you will not. But you will need a follow-up process where most of the conversions of these leads will happen. So put that in place. An expired package helps. If you have a good package, that's essential. It's good to have. A little brochure, a letter, that's what the Expired Plus has. And then you go out and you hit them hard. So step 1 is preparation. You're ready. Step 2, you have a system in place, you have a CRM in place, and you have a follow-up in place. Because majority of these leads you will not convert on the initial contact. In other words, it's not going to happen over one phone call. It's going to require a little bit of follow-up. Now, it can be a few days, it can be a few weeks, it just depends. Depends on the motivation of the lead, and it depends on their circumstances. The more they want to sell, the higher the motivation and core driving emotion, the shorter the time. But there usually is some time. You just follow up, follow up, follow up, you start converting them. You can have a rock star 2019. If you start combining these, what I call high probability leads, you guys hear me talk about them a lot, where I can just easily find them. I can go on Zillow. In my area last week, there were 111 for sell by owner and make me move leads, just in my area, 111. I would go in expecting 10% conversion, right? With good follow-up, keeping in touch, that's 10, 11 listings. That's worth 15,000 a pop here. Now, your numbers are different, your area is different. But I'm sure there are some people who try. With FSBOs, I'm going to expect in our MLS to be at least 500 expireds. And then whichever number I end up with, I'm going to put on a CRM. But that can be an awesome year. Is that inspiration to you? Can you see the possibility now? What do you say? What is FSBORINO? George would like to know. FSBORINO, let's see if I have the book here. I wrote a book on how to list FSBOs. George, it looks like this. There is a bunch of scripts, how to, the whole process, emails, texts to send, follow-up process, everything is here. You're going to get a video course with it. You have a library of all the marketing materials that you're going to use to work with FSBOs. You're going to get this in mail if you come on board, when you come on board. And I will teach you how to do FSBOs. It's a system I put together. If you go to FSBORINO.com, you can order it. You can be up and running within a few days. Not that hard. Just watch a few videos, set up the email, set up some follow-up in your CRM, and you're good to go. So that's FSBORINO, George. All right, guys. Was that helpful? Do you feel you can do this? Honestly, it is not that complicated. You must execute a simple set of steps. Now, I can help you with that, or you can do it on your own, but that's really what it's going to come down to. How are you going to reach out to them? And that's important because you're going to create a strong first impression. Within seconds, they decide whether they like you, maybe, or not at all. That's the first impression. And then it's a matter of follow-up, keeping in touch. A lot of agents drop the ball here on the follow-up. They don't have the right follow-up. They think that drip campaign is follow-up. It's not. It's part of your follow-up, but it's not the whole thing. You got to intertwine it with other stuff, like sending a text once in a while, sending a video, visiting them in person, phone calls. All that has to be part of your follow-up, especially if the lead is motivated. Very, very important. All right?